So, everybody is talking about it. Hold on. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Ruby Rose pretty much spilling the tea on the CW and just how bad it was as far as the working conditions, as far as the way that she got treated. It was a lot. It was a lot. I read a lot of her posts this morning, and then before I started recording, she posted 2 more on the story. It's a lot. It's bad. I mean, the whole, okay. So at first, she told people that, her and the CW sat down, got together, and decided, listen, we took this character as far as we can take her, as far as Batwoman, and, we're just going to sit there and her, and, she was like, oh, it'll be more Batwomans, and there's always going to be different Batwomans, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. And then it came out that she was allergic to, like, the fabric and the rubber and stuff like that. She was having, like, this bad skin reaction. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right. Because if she was having that for that long and she just kept sitting there wearing it for 20-something episodes, that made 0 sense. Now I'm going to sit there and be honest. At first, when I heard, that she left or whatever, I'm going to be honest. I was pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed. Because I felt like, she did the CW dirty. She did her cast and the crew dirty. And, I thought about making a video. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because, man, there was one scene, she almost actually got her eye taken out. She talks about how a stunt double practically got, like, 3rd-degree burns, and they were just carrying on like it was just a typical Tuesday. No, you know what, let's everyone just take a break, let's take a mental health day, whatever, just to kind of digest this. It was like, nope, we're just going to get right back to work. And the sad thing is that, from what she said, is that they didn't, when COVID happened, they didn't really choose to leave because they, because it was the right thing to do. They only did it because the government actually told them, yo, you got to go home and you got to stay there. Because this thing is wild at the time. So you can't be doing this. Now I'm going to read a couple of these posts from Ruby Rose that I screenshot. Keep in mind that some of this stuff, I'm going to be honest, seems like it was kind of just out of place. And the only reason why I'm choosing to read it is because, with stories, after a while, they just kind of, go. And then you don't get to see it again. Also, she practically made it seem like, what, listen, if I don't speak now, I'm just not going to get the chance. So, COVID. Hashtag Caroline Dries. Or Dries, I think that's her name, has no heart and wanted us to finish the season throughout the pandemic, and I told her it was a bad idea. I told her everyone was too distracted, constantly checking COVID updates, checking on Friends, and seeing Riverdale, The Flash, and Supergirl shut down already. I felt something bad would happen, and Caroline Dries, if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, please just let me know. Maybe visit set 4 times in a year. Unheard of. But in those 4 to 5 visits, she decided she can tell me she knew my injuries happened on set, so I would comply with the PI, yet later denied it entirely and said it happened during yoga. LOL, I don't do yoga, and now someone will never walk again. We shut down the next day, not because she almost killed someone, but the government pulled it. Also, I forgot people on set, yes. No, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted safety. Ask anyone in hair and makeup what I did for them. After 2 were hospitalized, the only people who came out and spoke was, I can't pronounce his name, who talked about unprofessionalism. Called my agent after my exit to find a way to leave, to which she replied, break your neck, I guess, yet slam me in the press. She really goes in. Girl really goes in. Hold on. I just screenshot it. Neck, I guess, yet slam me in the press. I never raised my voice on set, never have. Again, some guy named Doug Gray, I guess that's their name, heard a female stunt double. He yelled like a little bitch at women and was a nightmare. He left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted. He abused women and in turn as a lead of a show, I sent an email out asking for a no yelling policy. They declined. I was late one time because I was in the hospital. Whoever does these stupid leaks, I'm finding out who, but it's Cambridge, I guess, what the hell is his name? Hold on. Luke Fox's son. I think his name is Luke Fox the Jr. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird because I watched it last week. Anyway, the actor that plays Luke Fox's son, who after I left said, yeah, well maybe if people were not late, we would make our days. A kid. An egomaniac kid who worked one day a week had the audacity of the stunt department who were furious even though I never blamed them. But I went on falling and spoke of my injuries and didn't play the game. Aside from them, I was loved and loved my crew. Oh, and they wouldn't drive me to work and knew I couldn't legally drive after surgery, so he said, get a taxi. Damn. And wow, dude works one day a week, he has the audacity to sit there and say something to Ruby Rose. Okay. Alright, bro. So in closing, please, to my dear fans, stop asking me if I will return to that awful show. I wouldn't return for any amount of money, nor if a gun were pointed to my head, nor did I quit. I do not quit. See? Shame on me. They ruined Kate Kane and they destroyed Batwoman. Not exactly wrong. Not me. I follow orders, and if I wanted to stay, I was going to have to sign my rights away. Any threats, any bullying tactics, or blackmail would not make me stand down. A crew member got third-degree burns over his whole body. Jesus. And we were given no therapy after witnessing his skin fall off his face. But I was the only one who sent him flowers and cards. And then we were told we had to do a sex scene without a minute to process. We lost 2 stunt doubles. I got cut in the face so close to my eye in a stunt, I could have been blind. A woman was left paraplegic. It was bad. And they tried to blame it on her being on her phone. So much so CW didn't even help her to start with because they needed to investigate. So she had to do a GoFundMe. She's a PA. They work via phone. Her accident occurred because our show refused to shut down when everyone else did because of COVID. And then, you know, the other tweet or the other Instagram story. Now she does actually write a few more. And I'm just reading this because, well, let's be honest, it's probably going to be over at that point. Never mind. Again, some of this stuff is out of order, but I'm going to sit there and read it anyway. I do and say this now because this isn't crazy, out of this world freak accident, nor is it even the half of it. I'm speaking up because of such a weird name. I spoke up because of Isa. And the previous mentioned people reminded me that nothing will change if nothing changes. And people out there are even more scared than I, have less resources than I, and need to know they are not alone. Our industry needs a lot of work. It needs to change dramatically, and people deserve to be less afraid, and maybe, just maybe, aside from healing me, might make a small change for someone else. Thank you for the support, and I'm in the woods right now, literally, not figuratively. And I will not be on my phone. Please also do try to leave. I can't pronounce that new woman at Justia. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot pronounce the new Batwoman's name. And other people I did not mention out of this. She deserves better, and some of those people I have been told are getting attacked are my allies, not my enemies. Just because some people can't be public about their support doesn't mean it's not there. So yeah, it's bad. And to be honest, I'm not really too surprised. I remember years ago, Kat Graham, she used to be on the Vampire Diaries, play Bonnie. Every time they did press junkets, almost every single time, this woman was not smiling. She was dead ass serious, and she looked like she did not want to be there. And this isn't one of those things where it's like, alright, these actors have been just going from place to place, they're tired or whatever. It's like, no, she just legit did not want to be there. And there's been rumors that she didn't have a pleasant, she hated it, okay? She really straight up did not like working for the CW as far as being on that show. And now let's just keep in mind, because I know a lot of people sitting there talking about this and they want to sit there and believe Ruby Rose. When you have cases like this, and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, he said, she said, he said, whatever. Let's just keep in mind something that's very important. There's her side, there's the CW side, and somewhere in there, there's the middle. You know, somewhere in there, there's the truth. And yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I really do feel bad for, you know, if that happened. I'm not saying that they're calling her a liar. I'm just saying, like, if all this stuff is true, but in a lot of ways, again, I wouldn't be too surprised. It sucks. And I'm glad that I'm doing this video now, as opposed to me when Ruby Rose left. I mean, who knows? I mean, CW seemed like they're probably going to be silent for a little bit. They'll probably come out with a press thing or whatever. Let's just keep in mind for 1 minute that CW has been known to be pretty petty. Okay, right after Ruby Rose left and they were doing a promotion for Superman and Lois, they were showing Crisis and stuff like that. And the last scene where Oliver Queen, you know, the death of Oliver Queen, and they have everyone like standing next to each other. They literally photoshopped Ruby Rose out of that picture, like out of the whole, you know, the video. And I'm like, bro, I remember watching that. Okay, I remember watching it every day that it was on. You know, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I know that she was on there. Okay, so you can't just sit there and Photoshop her out and just have the world believe that well, she's not in there because we all saw her. So, like, what are you doing? Anyway, that's pretty much the video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below as far as all this. Is it Do you believe Ruby? Do you believe CW? Do you believe that there's somewhere in there's a true story? Like, whatever. Like I said, I always sit there and try to look at both sides, but CW, again, has had a history of just pretty much doing people grinding. So, anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.